سورة البركة الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يعدي حقه المجتهدون. الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الصلاة والسلام على الرسول المسدد والمصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد وبآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم وهو أصدق القائلين: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Once again, I begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent and the Merciful, the one who gives us existence, the one who brings us into being from nothing, and the one who gives us the strength and the intellect to take us to our destination. On that note, I humbly say, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, we are gathered here tonight. It's one of the most heart-rendering nights, heart-wrenching nights, to relate the tragedy of Karbala, focusing on a 4 or 5-year-old girl who was tortured and harassed right from the events of Karbala all the way down to Sham, to Damascus. And after 1 year of imprisonment and torture and harassment, she dies in that prison. But before that, there are some preambles that I want to present before I come to the tragedy of Bibi Sakina alayha salatu wassalam. The verse that I recited is from Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat number 30, where Allah says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Means Allah tells the angels that I have decided that I will create or present my representative on earth. Khalifa here does not mean a vicegerent. It's a representative, my representative on earth. And immediately the angels replied, أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ. Means you are going to create an entity, you are going to create something which is going to shed blood and spread corruption on earth. وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسْ لَكَ. And here we are already praising you, glorifying you, and you are still going to create something that is going to create corruption on earth and spread mischief, spill blood. And Allah says, إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Now this is the talk of my today. Why Allah said, إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. In Quran, you don't get any other explanation after this. But the explanation that is provided is in the tafsir. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now you and I, basically, brothers and sisters, at the moment are sitting in, basically my talks are on Islamic ethics, morals and ethics. And where did Muslims go wrong that this tragedy of Karbala transpired? The self-complacency of the Muslims made it incumbent for Imam Hussain to rise and such a tragedy which is unparalleled in history till today transpired. You and I, at the moment, sitting in a Muslim community in this gathering, we are organized people. We believe in structures. We believe in infrastructures. We believe there should be a building where we should, there should be somewhere where we should gather, and we should be able to talk about our faith. There should be a religious discourse or a dialogue where there should be an exchange of views about religion. Otherwise, we won't come. So therefore, we are organized. We are also known as confessional religious people. This is known as confessional religion. Confessional religion, each one of us in our room, in this room, we say and we testify, La ilaha illallah and Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is confession. So we belong to a confessional religion. You see, the thing is, what I'm trying to present today is that when we talk religion, when this vocabulary religion comes into our mind, we only go, our minds sometimes are so narrow that we think about only the Abrahamic religions, for example, or the other religions that exist outside Abrahamic religions, like Judaism, Christianity, Islam. When it comes to Hinduism, Sikhism, we think these are religion. But we, at the moment, are sitting in this room, we belong to a confessional religion. That's our religion. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is our confession. And we would say, or we would say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Correct? Now, salawatu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is our confession, and therefore, we are a confessional community. I want to enlighten you on something more about this religion today. We are together connected in our common belief of Allah, and therefore the word aqidah, you know the faith, aqidah in Arabic means that which ties you with another human being. You know nikah is aqd also. What's aqd? Is to tie a knot. And this aqidah, did you know that aqd is to tie a knot? Aqidah is something that connects me with you and you and you and you and me. This is known as aqidah. We are all together in faith, in aqidah. We are community of faith this is a new kind of terminology. A community of faithful is the community that is tied together in a confession. So therefore we are tied together in this confession of La ilaha illallah and Muhammadur Rasulullah. A British author by the name of Luckman, Lukkmann, he talks about, now I am presenting his views, and which I find very fascinating. He talks about invisible religion in the modern society. Now he doesn't talk about Islam, Christianity, Judaism, etc., etc. No. He talks about invisible religion in the modern society. What he says is very interesting and very nice to keep in mind, that most of the activists today, whether I am a political activist or environmental activist or an animal activist, all activism, he says, now see, is got a religious connotation. All this activism, he says, environmental activism, all activism has religious roots, has got religious connotation, because we want to improve the situation and we believe in something. We have faith in something. You see, we have faith that animals should be protected. For example, the dying species, the leopards, the cheetahs, too much of ivory killing of the elephants. So that is an invisible religion. This is what he says. So all these environmental politics, for example, we want to see politics delivers. That person is so delved into politics and he believes in that politics, in the theme, that I want to see politics deliver what it promises. Why? Because I do not want to see discrimination in the society. I do not want to see racism in the society. I do not want to see nepotism in the society. So I become political active. And Luckman says this is invisible religion, based on spirituality. This is also a religion. Now this is how he is expounding upon religious pluralism. I'm not talking about Islamic pluralism. Today the scholars are talking about Islamic pluralism. I am not qualified even to go there. I cannot even shed a light on it. But today many of the Islamic scholars are talking about Islamic pluralism. I'm not touching that. So if I am a political activist, so in other words, my activism is spiritually inclined. My activism is spiritually sparked or informed. Now, for example, Luqman says, Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That this type of activism, any activism which you believe in firmly, is spiritually inclined, has a spiritual ground in it. I am an activist and I go and tell people how to protect the environment because of global warming, because of the climate change, because of the glaciers and the icebergs that are melting in the North Arctic and the Antarctic circles, and because I think nature is in danger. I am an activist, so this is an invisible religion. So I become an activist, the Greenpeace activist. All this is a part of religiosity. This is all a part of religiosity, but it is modern, invisible religiosity. Because, he says, as a modern individual, I am not supposed to say out loud that I belong to a confessional community. This is the invisible religiosity. What does this all suggest to you? Or what does this all suggest to us? The preamble that I have made. You see, I'm just touching on points. I've got an intellectual mass in front of me, and I'm sure you will understand. There are times and dilemma in our lives, and we want to make a decision. You see, this is where Islamic ethics, morals and ethics come into play. There are times of dilemma in our lives, and I've given this example few times before, but I'm repeating for those who do not know or who are not aware of it. We want to make a decision, and our rationality is not capable of making a correct decision. Now look at this case in a medical situation. I cite this example. Medical situation because some time back I read a book on Islamic biomedical ethics written by one of our own religious scholars. And one of the examples that I came across in this book time and again is that I am a father, and my son or my daughter, my child, has been hospitalized, who's about 10, 11 years old, and his kidneys are not functioning. The kidneys have died, for example. Now the solution that has been found in the medical procedure is that somebody should donate a kidney in order for this child to live. A donor kidney is required. On research, they found that my kidneys are histocompatible. They can be transplanted into this child without any problem, and the child will be able to retain that kidney and survive. The question comes up, correct? Now, the question comes up that am I ready and willing to donate my kidney to my child? Let's be honest. Would you give it? Would I give it? Honestly. It all depends, by the way. Islamic law and the Islamic Sharia is very clear on this issue. Sharia says that you have absolutely no obligation to donate it. This is what the law of Islam says. The Fuqaha says, it's your kidney, you keep it, you need it. You need 2 kidneys. God did not give you another extra kidney so that you could donate it to someone or even to your blood relation. You see, Islamic law is very clear on this matter. That extra kidney was not granted to me as a spare kidney that could be donated to anyone, for example. Of course, yes, I can ask any medical professional and they'll tell you that you can function on 1 kidney. There's no doubt about that. But Allah has created and granted this as a part of you. It's a part of your body, and I am not supposed to donate it. And even if there is a 5% iota, an iota of even 5% doubt that if I donate my kidney, I might harm myself, then daq'ud dharar. Daq'ud dharar in Arabic means it's wajib. It is obligatory not to donate my kidney. And Sharia says no, because it's going to harm you and you must not donate it. All right, now here comes the test. The medical professional, doctor says, Riyaz, we have found only you to be a donor. Your kidneys are histocompatible, the father. Now I am a timid person. I'm scared. I'm scared. And I think that I cannot go through this operational or surgical procedure. So I'm afraid of my life. So Riyaz comes to the doctor and says, okay, I want you to do a favor for me, please. And he says, what? He says, don't say this. It is between me and the doctor now. And I said, do not reveal this. Don't say this in front of my wife, that my kidney is histocompatible. Why? Because if my wife finds out that actually my kidney is histocompatible, can be donated, and if I say no, then there's going to be damal at home. Huh? There's going to be a war at home. And it will start that you do not care for your child, you do not care for your blood relation, you are such stone-hearted person, your child deserves this. And you, what sort of a father are you? You see all this? History will start. And the doctor says, see, I'm sorry, but I'm not supposed to hide facts. I cannot hide facts. And you cannot hide this from your wife or from your family. And I will be announcing this in public, where you have your families gathering. In other words, you will be sitting with your family and taking a major, major decision yourselves. Now, all these issues are connected with this small matter connected with donating a kidney. It is a question of moral and ethics. It is a question of moral and ethics to your own child who is in need of this. If he or she doesn't receive the kidney, the doctor says very clearly, in no uncertain terms, that there is no more dialysis involved. That's it. There's no more dialysis possible. Your child is in danger. He will not survive. Now, law rationally tells you, you want to keep your two kidneys, you may keep it. The law of Islam also tells you, the Sharia tells you keep it. It's very rational, and our Sharia is very rational in these matters, by the way. Your right is your right. That's what our laws tell you. It's your kidney, you keep it. It's your eyes, you keep it. It's your liver, it's your heart, you keep it. You don't part with it. And there is no feeling of guilt at the end of the story. There is no feeling of guilt. Now, this is the pinnacle of human behavior and sacrifice, which Allah says, Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. Means you do not, of course, deform yourself in any way. In order for you to be what we call in Urdu, we say nisar karna. In Urdu we say nisar karna, that you prefer someone else over yourself, to be so charitable, to be so kind, to be so noble. You don't have to be that way, no. You be charitable, but not at your own expense. This is what the Sharia is very clear. It's the law, the immutable law. But look at the morals and ethics involved in this one small example. The morality connected to this type of a situation is that look at the spirituality. It says, if you do the sacrifice today, you will not only save the life of your child, but will be an act of merit. And this is exactly what Allah is telling the army of angels, that inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun, means this human being can rise to the level beyond the angels, that he can sacrifice himself for another person. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. See how Allah is talking about human beings? Why are we his representatives? Why? Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Because when we do this type of, or when we indulge ourselves in this type of acts of merit, my brothers and sisters, Allah commends us that He is telling the angels, Inni ya'lamu ma la ta'lamun. Now, another aspect. We, in modern times, you and I, we think that we are independent individuals. We need not be authentic. Now, this is another aspect of moral and ethics. Now, what religion is teaching us is that no, you need to be individual, but authentic individual. And that you can be only when you are connected. You can be an authentic individual in this community, in this society. You can be an authentic individual when you are connected. The moment you disconnect yourself with people, you become unauthentic. You must allow people to judge your work. And I am phrasing myself very carefully. You allow people to judge your work, not your faith. You allow people to judge your work and not your faith, because your faith is hidden in the heart. Nobody can judge your faith except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one. Nobody can judge you. If anybody talks about your faith, especially if you are not there, they are committing and indulging in ghiba, major sin. They are gossiping behind your back, especially if they talk negatively about it. But somebody can talk about your action. We saw Mr. X doing so and so, which is morally, it elevates the morale of the people, that I saw Mr. So and so or Miss so and so, Mrs. so and so indulge in this act of charity, which raises awareness in the community. That is something of a very high merit, because there you can talk about action, but what is visible to you and me. But we cannot read people's heart in faith. Only Allahu ya'lamu ma fi dhatis sudur. This is what Allah says very clearly, that only Allah knows what is hidden in my heart. This is morals and ethics in Islam, by the way. How can I open someone's heart? You know, there is a hadith in Sahih Bukhari. One of the companions came, early times of Islamic propagation, in front of the Prophet. He comes to the Prophet and says, I killed him. And he says, the Prophet says, whom? He says that kafir, that kuffar, idolater, I killed him. And the Prophet is asking, who told you? The Prophet saw red. Now he's angry, he's mad. And he says, who told you to kill him? Oh, he is an unbeliever. Oh, so the Prophet is asking him, Anta tadkhulu fi sadriha? That dakhalta fi sadrih? Did you go into his heart and find out that he's an idolater? You entered in his heart? You knew exactly what is in his heart? You opened up his heart and then you decided to kill him? This is one of the traditions in Sahih Bukhari, the Muslim books. And the Prophet told him, he took him to task, and he says, how could you do that? How could you do that? You have no power to enter somebody's heart. How could you kill him? The Prophet literally took him to task. Imagine how many times I'm coming to basic morals and ethics in our community or in the Muslim society in general. How many times we curse people we don't even know? Living entities, living individuals, we accuse them of disbelief and unfaithfulness sometimes. On the contrary, we have never taken the trouble of asking them, do you really believe? This is what we heard. Do you really believe in this? Do you really have faith in this? You know, I go sometimes, many times I go to Birmingham, UK to see my sister. I visit my sister quite often. I was in one of those internet cafes a few years ago. Belonged to a Somali person from East Africa. Now, apparently this Somali guy did not know much English, and a person entered. I don't know if it was Jehovah's Witness or I have no idea. A person enters and asks him, "Do you believe in God?" He's asking the owner of the cafe. I am there trying to do my business. So this Somali guy didn't understand, because he was speaking in the proper British terms, British accent. So he said, he's asking me, "Anta tarjuma hadha?" Means, if you speak Arabic, can you please translate what he says? Anta tarjuma, yani please translate for me, what is this man asking? So I told him, see, I am not fluent in Arabic. I can speak, but I'm not that fluent. He says, not a problem. But what I can get from him is, هل أنت تعتقد على الله أو تعتقد بالله؟ هو يسألك أنت تعتقد بالله means, do you believe in Allah? And look at the answer here. You see, the answer is very nice. It says, ما بي هو. Look, see, ما بي هو, MYOB. ما بي هو means, what is his business? Mind your own business. Huh? أنت تعتقد بالله. Why do you want to ask me if it is none of your business to ask me that I believe in God. What is his business? And he was right. He was absolutely right. You see, it's a question of morals and ethics. He was absolutely right. What was his business to ask him, do you really believe in God? I don't know what he had meant or what he wanted to do, Allah knows, but he left. That person left. But certainly he asked him in no uncertain terms that you believe in God. And we sometimes do that. We go beyond our mandate sometimes. That's what we call in Farsi, fuzuli kardan. Fuzuli bikulin. In Farsi we say that. Fuzul baate kar raha hai, jaise say Urdu. We are not supposed to do it. We are supposed to comment on someone's faith. We are not supposed to comment on someone's faith because we cannot remain indifferent. But we cannot remain indifferent when we see the misbehavior of people. Even in this small community, if someone is misbehaving, that person has to be corrected. If everyone keeps quiet, then everyone is responsible on the day of judgment. You see, in English, what do they say? Ignorance is not an excuse to the law. I did not see that no entry sign, and I went in. And I tell the police when he gives me a $300 ticket and said, I'm sorry, I didn't see. He says, no, ignorance is not an excuse to the law. We cannot remain indifferent when we see misbehavior of the people. Remember, this is moral complacency today in the Muslim society. I'm not talking about our community. It's a moral complacency that has entered in the Muslim society, that we are completely indifferent to people's behavior. When we see bad behavior, we do not do anything about it. You see, we leave this fold of Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar. We cannot even tell a person that, please, your wudu, correct it. Because we think, that person will be offended. Even politely, no, we cannot. Let him do wudu incorrect. Let him pray incorrect. Doesn't really matter. But when we see a person who is ill-mannered in a society, in a community, and we don't do anything about it, then we have failed utterly our religious responsibility. But as far as faith is concerned, nobody knows what is going on in somebody's heart. And today is the same thing that is happening, that you and I are searching for ethics and morality. And Imam Hussain alayhi salam on the plains of Karbala stands out as one of the most important teachers of ethics par excellence. Par excellence. There's no match. Surrounded by an army of 110,000 compared to what? 72 people? 110 people? Bibi Zainab. I'm telling you, each member of Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet in the plains of Karbala, was an ethical example, was an ethical paradigm, my brothers and sisters. In other words, what they were teaching was that this is the religion of our grandfather, the Prophet. In other words, in Islam, if you were to remove ethics, you don't have anything to stand on. There's nothing to stand on. And I cannot be more than clearer than this. You can imagine Tabari. Tabari is a Sunni author who has written the whole history of Karbala. Tariq al-Tabari, Sunni historian, mentions this event. Look at the complacency of the Muslims at that time. I mean, it's unbelievable. I said heart bleeds. Our heart bleeds. When we talk of Bibi Sakina or Ruqayya, our heart bleeds. They left and they traveled up north. They stopped outside Mosul in Iraq. Mosul, till today, Mosul is known to be very pro-Umayyad, anti-Ahlul Bayt, anti-Prophet's family. In those days, and it is no difference today. You've heard, you've seen. And the people of Mosul were so anti-Ahlul Bayt and anti-Hashemites that the fear was that they might not look at the family of the Prophet the way they were brought, and their action towards the family of the Prophet might be even something more dangerous when the army of Yazid did. That is how bad they were. People of Mosul in Iraq. Therefore, the decision was made by Shimr, the Shimr Mal'un, and other commanders to keep the prisoners outside of Mosul. It was the month of, according to historians, some say October, some say July. I have read this in Tabari, it says July. It's known in Iraq, Tammuz, the month of Tammuz. Tammuz is the hottest month in Iraq. They were all outside Mosul. There are no tents. And Shimr said, we pitched tents for our soldiers, but the family of the Prophet was kept under the hot sun and the scorching sun outside. And I want you to keep in mind, my point of reference is ethics and human conscience, by the way. Because the Prophet taught us that when you conduct war, you will spare. There are outlines and laws given out by the Prophet. When there is war, you will abide by these conditions and by these laws and ethics of war, that you will spare women and children. You will not touch them. You will not touch the tree. You will not touch the farmland. You will not touch the wells. You will not touch the ponds. You will not poison the water. These are all conditions and laws given out by the Prophet. It's a part of human conscience and ethics of war, even if you are dealing with the enemy, but you will not touch under any circumstances women, children, and elderly people. Clear cut. Here you find these are the Muslims, by the way, and they are all reciters of the Quran. They pray 5 times a day when time enters. And if we believe the sources, that's what the sources are telling us. And the Prophet's family is made to stand under a hot, burning sun from above and hot, scorching sand from below. Shimr has the water brought. Water is being distributed to the soldiers. It's very hot. I don't know the exact age of Bibi Sakina. I think it's very difficult to gauge sometimes, but she could not be more than 5 years old. This girl, this child, could not be more than 5 years old. If Karbala took that long, after Karbala we do not know how long it took them to come to Damascus. From Karbala to Damascus, they were brought as prisoners. But if there is any indication, Bibi Sakina or Sayyida Ruqayya could not be more than 4 or 5 years old. She sees the water is being distributed. I mean, this is very heart-rendering. She comes to Bibi Zainab and says, Ya Ammiti, oh my aunt, I want to ask for water. I want water because I'm thirsty. And Bibi Zainab looks at the child and says, Sakina, you know who is distributing water? He is known as Qasi'ul Qalb. He is a hard-hearted and cruel man. He is the one who beheaded your father. Bibi Zainab tells her. And you know how children are sometimes. And she says, Aunt, may I please try? Maybe he will give me some water. And Bibi Zainab says, okay, go. Sakina comes towards Shimr and tells him, Shimr, I am very thirsty. Can you give me some water? And with a rude attitude, Shimr looks at the child and says, go away, wait. When I finish with the soldiers, I will come to you. Now I am talking about human conscience here. I'm talking about human conscience and depravity of morality. This is what the Muslims have. And we have seen here today also in the world, depravity of conscience, how they beheaded. What is this? Daesh and Al-Qaeda. No moral and ethical values, nothing. The sense of right and wrong from their conscience has disappeared. So Shimr distributes water. Everyone is given water. And here Sakina, this 4-year-old child, is waiting. Finally, he comes in front of Sakina and asks her, oh, you want water? And the child was very happy, thinking, yes, that I will get water. So what she does, the water was being poured out or distributed through those skin bags. The bags of skin which are known as mashk, from which the water was poured. So she forwards her tiny hands in front of the mashk, thinking that he will pour the water in my hands and then I will drink. Well, conscience bleeds that instead of pouring the water in the hands of Sakina, he threw the whole water and spilled it down on the sand. He did not give her one drop of water. It is very, very, very difficult to comprehend this situation, my brothers and sisters. It's very difficult. It's not without reason that after 14 centuries, we still remember this tragedy as if it's transpired yesterday. It's one of those occasions where your heart breaks at the behavior of the so-called Muslims. I'm not surprised. It's not surprising at all. What bothers me most is that even now in the Muslim society, there is an attempt to cover it up. Just a few days ago, I was looking at a video. Professor Muzammil in Columbia University comes up on the podium. They were talking about Islam, and the first statement that he gave out was that our Shia brothers should forget the tragedy of Karbala. And he was answered by one of the Shia scholars that how can we forget the tragedy of Karbala? Karbala is morality. Every child that was asking for more water was asking for your conscience to be opened up. Tragedy and justice are related, but I want you to remember this, that Sakina could not get any water. When the water was thrown and spilled on the ground, she took the wet sand and the mud in her tiny hands and she attached it to her heart and she started crying. And Bibi Zainab held her and said, Sukaina, I told you that this man has no heart. अजरुकुम अल्लाह रज़ादारान हुसैन, एक छोटी सी बच्ची जिसका सिनो साल 4 था, हम कहते हैं नादान सकीना। मैं कहता हूँ न कहिए कि वो नादान थी। शेख जाफ़र शुश्तरी लिखते हैं कि वो हाफिज़ कुरान थी। I have to speak in Urdu to convey the full impact of this tragedy that has transpired on Bibi Sakina. इमाम हुसैन के पास वक्त रुखसत आती है और कहती है, बाबा हमने कुरान में देखा है कि लिर्रिजालिन नसीबु मिम्मा इक्तसबु, कुरान हाफिज़ कुरान, शी इज़ नॉट नादान, नादान नहीं है वो, हाफिज़ कुरान। कहती है लिर्रिजालिन नसीबु मिम्मा इक्तसबु वलिन्निसाई नसीबु मिम्मा इक्तसबना, कि बाबा मर्दों के हक में वो है जो वो हासिल करे, औरतों के हक में वो है जो वो हासिल करे। बाबा आज करबला के इम्तिहान में मर्दों का हक तो हमने देख लिया कि उनके लिए शहादत है, ये बताइए कि औरतों के हक में क्या है। और इमाम ने कहा, बेटी तुम्हारे हक में अभी असीरी है और कैदी है, तुम्हारे हक में बेटी यतीमी है सकीना, मेरे मरने के बाद बहुत रोओगी, अभी न रो सकीना। 4 साल का वो सिन है जिंदान शाम में, 4 साल का सिन जिंदान शाम में। سکینہ بیٹھی ہے زندان شام کے دروازے پر، دن رات پھوپھی جان سے بیٹھ کے باتیں کرتی ہے کہ پھوپھی جان ان مصیبتوں کا آخر میں کوئی انتہا ہے؟ پھوپھی جان یہ بتائیے کہ واقعہ کربلا کی خصوصیت کیا ہے؟ اور جناب زینب ایک ایک بات کو سمجھاتی رہی کہ سکینہ، عباس جو تمہارا مشق لینے پانی بھرنے کے لیے گیا، سکینہ علی اکبر نے جو سینے پہ نیزہ کھایا، سکینہ علی اصغر کا جو گلا چھیدا، سکینہ وقت آخر ذوالجناح جو خالی آیا تھا، یہ اس لیے آیا تھا کہ دین اسلام کی حفاظت ہو۔ امام زین العابدین بیان کرتے ہیں، امام زین العابدین کی روانی، وہ کہتے ہیں کہ سکینہ زندان شام میرے ساتھ زندان شام کے دروازے پر کھڑی تھی، دیکھا چھوٹے چھوٹے بچے اپنے ماں باپ کی انگلیاں پکڑ پکڑ کر اپنے گھر جا رہے ہیں، آسمان کی طرف دیکھا، جھٹ پٹا سا وقت، شام کا وقت، چرندے اپنے اپنے گھونسلوں کی طرف جا رہے ہیں، جانور اپنے مالکوں کے ساتھ اپنے اپنے گھر میں جا رہے ہیں۔ ایک مرتبہ پلٹ کے کہا، پھوپھی جان جانور بھی گھر جا رہے ہیں، بچے اپنے والدوں کے ساتھ گھر جائے، پھوپھی جان کیا ہم کبھی مدینہ نہ جائیں گے؟ کیا سکینہ اپنے گھر نہ جائے گی؟ کیا سکینہ کبھی مسجد نبوی نہ جائے گی؟ اور زینب یہ کہتی تھی کہ سکینہ صبر کرو، ایک وقت یہاں سے بھی ہم نکل جائیں گے۔ اور اسی مظلومی میں زندان شام کے اندر ایک دن سکینہ نظر آئی، وصیت کرتی تھی، پھوپھی جان میں تو جا رہی ہوں فی امان اللہ، بابا نے مجھے بلایا مگر یزید کا کفن نہ دینا۔ اللہ ولعنت اللہ علی القوم الظالمین۔ ماتم حسین۔